Test, test, test.
Want you to stand up to give your speech.
Test, 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 test.
This House now convenes its sitting. Good morning, everyone. I call upon the clerk.
Item number 2, announcements by the Speaker.
Thank you. Again, good morning and welcome to this special sitting of the first session of the 15th House of Assembly of the Virgin Islands. I wish to welcome our newly elected representatives, current members here today. I wish to welcome our past members who are sitting in the gallery today, as well as the parents and teachers of the Ebenezer Thomas School who are here observing today's proceedings. I wish to welcome as well our listening audience, wherever they may be. Welcome to this House of Assembly. I call upon the clerk.
Item number 3, statements by ministers.
I now call upon the Honorable Sarisma Alexander.
Good day, Madam Speaker, and the members of the House of Assembly. I would like to introduce myself as Honorable Sarisma Alexander, the newly elected Premier of the British Virgin Islands. Madam Speaker, today I would like to talk about 2 constitutional changes that will benefit our country, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the first constitutional change that will benefit the country is the improvement of medical health care we currently have. Madam Speaker, when people get sick, they should be able to come to the hospital and receive the needed care and medication to make them better again. There have been many people diagnosed with cancer and other illnesses over the past years. Madam Speaker, citizens by right should have access to a first-class hospital that can treat the illness. To provide this service to the people of the British Virgin Islands would cost about $2 million a year. Madam Speaker, my following constitutional change is increasing the minimum wage. The minimum wage needs to be improved so people can get paid enough to buy their basic needs, such as clothes and shoes, provide food, and pay their bills. There is a big concern with people not being able to provide for themselves and their families. Madam Speaker, the prices are too high in the supermarkets, so some criminals start stealing. The minimum wage should be reviewed regularly to ensure it is enough for people to meet their needs. Madam Speaker, a $10 million budget will be needed to increase the minimum wage. Madam Speaker, I believe that these 2 constitutional changes are significant to the people of the Virgin Islands. Mahatma Gandhi states, "We must be the change we wish to see in the world." Madam Speaker, the change we seek starts with us here today. I thank you.
Thank you, Honorable. I now call on the Honorable Camoa Bess.
Esteemed Madam Speaker, ministers, teachers, and colleagues, I bid you all a good morning. As we gather here today, let us remember the importance of our roles in shaping the future. As your Honorable Bess, Premier of the Virgin Islands, I am honored to represent these beautiful Virgin Islands and propose 2 constitutional changes in nature's little secret. In the words of John Wooden, make each day your masterpiece. Today, let's create a masterpiece of progress. Our first change focus on family value. Recently, we saw the Honorable Minister of Education recognized all past principals of the Willard Weekly Primary School, and they were happy. The Minister of Health celebrated all those who were 100 and above. That was lovely. But let's remember the youth. As Mr. Elmoster would say, can, when, and if you can. I say we can. As leaders of this beautiful nation, we must invest in the well-being of our youth. Madam Speaker, we propose creating more residential spaces, such as parks equipped with zoos, aquariums, pools to promote physical activity and leisure time. We also can implement a 6 p.m. curfew to encourage outdoor activities, keep our children active and away from electronic devices. Promoting a healthy lifestyle can reduce obesity and improve overall health. Madam Speaker, Minister for Health, Honorable Vincent O. Weekly, reported that 44% of primary school children are obese. The minister shared this alarming status on World Obesity Day, March 4, 2024. We must take action now. Additionally, we can attract more tourists, boost economic and contribute to a better future for everyone. Our second change proposes creating a VI Army. In celebration with the US, this partnership will strengthen our military forces and provide training in drug control, ensuring a safer community for us all. The legislative branch will take responsibility for both changes, and we propose a budget of $1 million. While some argue that this is a significant investment, we must prioritize the safety and well-being of our citizens. Madam Speaker, I pray we can unite to create a brighter future for the Virgin Islands.
Thank you, Honorable. I now call upon the Honorable Kijani Blyden.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Madam Speaker and respected colleagues. I stand before you as a newly elected Premier of the Walden Islands, Honorable Kijani Beden. I am grateful to those who have placed faith in me to represent our community. Today, I bring forth two constitutional changes that will pave the way towards a brighter future for our beloved country. Before I start, Madam Speaker, please allow me to share my favorite quote. Be the change that you wish to see in the world. The Open Government Meetings Act is the first proposal I present. This law will enable citizens or tourists, citizens to attend or observe government meetings every 2 months. Through this law, we can make better decisions as a nation and empower our community to participate in the decision-making process. The state of our roads, especially in the 3rd district, and the lack of water supply to some areas are issues that have persisted for too long. The legislature branch of the government will be dealing with this act. The second proposal I bring before you is the Encouraging Recycling Programs Law. This initiative will offer rewards or discounts to those participating in recycling programs. By incentivizing recycling, we can protect all natural resources and the environment. We need this law to ensure that all beautiful islands remain clean and pollution-free for all citizens and tourists. Pollution can cause health-related issues such as asthma, and we must take action to prevent it. The budget for this law is $500,000. These constitutional changes are the need of the hour, and they will have a significant impact on our country. By embracing these changes, we can set an example for the world and lead our community towards a better tomorrow. Let us work together to make our country a shining beacon of hope and prosperity. Thank you for your time, and may God bless our beautiful Virgin Islands. Madam Speaker, I am done.
Thank you, Honorable. I now call upon the Honorable Walden Charles.
Greetings, Madam Speaker, members of the House of Assembly, fellow citizens of the British Virgin Islands. I stand before you today as the Honorable Walden Charles, Premier of these beautiful islands. As we chart our course into the future, let us remember the words of Nelson Mandela. There can be no keener revelation of a society's soul than how it treats its children. My first constitutional change will be that currently our Constitution grants voting rights to those 18 and older. I propose we create a youth council with representatives from each district age 16 and 17 can firmly share their ideas and concerns with the government. Our advantage of this is that this gives young people a real say in matters that affect them. A foster civic engagement, teaching us how to work within the system to make positive change. The branches of government are the Ministry of Education, Culture, Youth Affairs, and Sports will oversee the formation of and operation of the Youth Council. My second constitutional change will be that our environment is our most precious inheritance. We should add a section to our Constitution specifically guaranteeing the right to a clean and healthy environment for all BVI citizens, present and future. The advantage of this is that this makes protection a core value, not just an excellent idea. It empowers citizens to hold the government accountable and ensures that development goes hand in hand with sustainability. The branches of government are the Ministry of Natural Resources, and Labour will be the primary enforcer of this new constitutional right. To make these changes a reality, I propose a budget of $250,000 that will cover the cost of running the Youth Council and the legal processes involved in amending our Constitution. Madam Speaker, these two changes are about more than just words on a page. They embody our commitment to building a BVI where young voices are valued and our natural treasures are safeguarded. Our society is judged by how it treats its most vulnerable, including children today and the generations to come. Let us work together to leave them a legacy of participation, responsibility, and a flourishing BVI. I am done with my speech.
Thank you, Honorable. I now call on the Honorable Jashira Daniel.
Good morning, Madam Speaker and other guests. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Honorable Jashira Daniel, and my quote for today is, "Difficult roads lead to beautiful destinations." Firstly, I would like to discuss the two constitutions in the British Virgin Islands and provide examples of them. The first constitutional change in emergency response. Madam Speaker, I have a question to ask. Why do emergency service sometimes arrive late during accidents or at crimes? I can understand the frustration and worry that comes with slow emergency response. We need to prioritize the safety and well-being of our community and provide our responders with the necessary resource and training to help them do their jobs. A mandatory training every 6 months will be put in place. Also, a budget of $15 will be provided. The second constitution is to increase the water supply in the Virgin Islands. Water is life, Madam Speaker. It is unpleasant when there is no water for a shower, and I am sure my colleagues would agree. Therefore, we must create more water streams such as dams and reservoirs and encourage water cycles. A budget of $10 will be provided. The legislative branch of government will oversee these changes. Thank you, Madam Speaker, and everyone else for allowing me to speak in the House of Assembly.
Thank you, Honorable. I now call on the Honorable Daria Donovan.
Good morning, Madam Speaker and other members of the House. I am Honorable Daria Donovan, Premier of the British Virgin Islands. Today, I am here to discuss two constitutional changes that significantly impact our country's future: health service and roadworks. Madam Speaker, I would like to start by sharing a well-known proverb: health is not valued until sickness comes. This unfortunate reality is evident in the poor healthcare service at the Dr. D. Orlando Smith Hospital in Roadtown. We need to demand better health service and care for our people. It is unacceptable that surgeries are postponed or transferred to the Bougainvillea Clinic due to lack of space and equipment. This is causing undue stress and financial hardship to people already suffering. We can invest $35 million to enhance the Dr. D. Orlando Smith Hospital. We can use the money to purchase more beds, renovate the Old People's Hospital, and buy necessary machines needed to perform its relevant task. Madam Speaker, it's time we address the critical issues of our roads. The state of streets is appalling, and driving through Pacopan is a nightmare. Potholes are everywhere, making it difficult for people to reach their workplaces, schools, and medical appointments. It's time for action to fix these roads. It's time to end the danger of accidents and damage to vehicles. Madam Speaker, I am pleased to share my team and Ministry for Communication and Works will be taking action. We are bringing Connect Consultants, a US-based agency, to the island next week, with an estimated cost of $12.1 million. We plan to repair these roads, sign-in, markings, and drainage systems. This investment will benefit our people and economy in the long run. Our people deserve safe and reliable roads, and we must make this happen. In conclusion, I urge you to support the changes required to improve the state of health service and roadworks in the British Virgin Islands. Let us take the first step towards a brighter future for our people. I leave you with this thought: a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Member. I now call on the Honorable Seo Fraser.
Good morning, Madam Speaker, honorable members, and my fellow colleagues. I am Honorable Seo Fraser, the newly elected Premier of the British Virgin Islands and the youngest Premier of the British Overseas Territory. I am here to present two constitutional changes that are critical for the future of our country, along with our respective budget, Madam Speaker. Our late Chief Minister, Honorable H. Lavdista, once said, "Where there is no vision, the people shall perish." We lack a sense of vision for the BVI, in my humble opinion, Madam Speaker. As a young citizen of the Virgin Islands, I am determined to share my vision with you. Madam Speaker, currently our Constitution allows for 50 members of the House of Assembly. However, I propose adding 2 additional members to the House of Assembly who would serve as district representatives for the islands of Jos Van Dyke and Anegada. These 2 islands may be small, but they are no less important, and we should keep them going. Having a representative on these islands would be of great significance, as we will finally have someone to guide them and experience what they go through. I propose a budget of $66,000 yearly for each representative to implement this change. Furthermore, Madam Speaker, I believe the Constitution should allow district representatives to have an apprentice for the safety of our future in the Virgin Islands. These apprentices will study under the district representatives, who will groom them and educate them about the political duties of our country. The district representative will select people between the ages of 15 and 24 living in the respective district to become their apprentice. This process can also assist in building young nation builders, upstanding citizens, and entrepreneurs in our society like myself. These people will be called junior district ministers. I propose a budget of $500 a month for each junior district minister to implement this change. Madam Speaker, my vision is to pave a way for our future and to give our youth more opportunities to be involved in society. I am confident that my proposals will bring significant positive changes to our country. I urge the Honorable House to consider them seriously. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable. I now call on the Honorable Tremoy Harrigan.
Good morning, Madam Speaker. I am Honorable Tremoy Harrigan, the newly elected Premier of the Virgin Islands. Today, I am excited to start my work, which will not be limited to an 8 to 4 job, but a 24-hour task. I have been tasked with proposing 2 constitutional changes that will benefit the Virgin Islands. Before I get into that, I would like to share an inspiring quote that has kept me motivated throughout this journey. Good things comes to those who wait. My first proposal is residential cleanliness. Madam Speaker, we must implement a new law to ensure residents keep their surroundings clean. We learn to keep our surroundings clean in school, but as we become adults, it seems forgotten. Why do people allow trees to grow and overcrowd the views of others? Why do we have unpainted house that brings the value of other people's property? Why do we have old vehicles in yards that breed rats and other rodents? Landlords should be held accountable, and a penalty fee should be granted if the standard of their premises is below an acceptable scoring mark. The second proposal is to increase budget for critical sectors such as education and health. Madam Speaker, these sectors should receive the most funding. It's not fair that our teachers have to provide everything for their classrooms out of their own pockets, yet they still have to be paid. Similarly, all hospitals should have the most up-to-date equipment and tools to provide the best service for their patients. I urge my honorable colleagues to be considerate of the hardworking teachers and healthcare workers. A budget of $2.1 million should be given to each sector, and I hope the legislative branch will consider such an initiative. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable. I now call on the Honorable Josiah Harris.
Good morning, Madam Speaker. I am Honorable Josiah Harris, the newly appointed Premier for the British Virgin Islands, and I accept the protocols already established. Today, I stand before you to share my vision for the Virgin Islands and why my proposals are essential for a brighter future. I will begin with a short quote. Good governance is one of the most important factors in our economic growth and social well-being. End of quote. Firstly, I firmly believe, Madam Speaker, everyone should have the right to vote in the Virgin Islands. It is a fundamental democratic right, and anyone who pays taxes and a child Social Security should be able to vote, regardless of citizenship. Denying that right, Madam Speaker, is a disservice to our democracy and undermines the principle of fairness. By granting that right to vote, Madam Speaker, we can create a more inclusive and equitable society where every voice counts. Secondly, I propose a school meal program that provides primary and secondary education students with accessible hot and nutritious meals for breakfast and lunch. This program is a crucial step towards addressing the rising cost of living and the inability of many families to meet their everyday needs. We can create a healthier and a more prosperous society by ensuring that our children have access to the nutrition they need to thrive. Madam Speaker, I propose a fiscal budget of $399 million for 2024 with the amendments. This budget has been carefully crafted to meet the needs of the people and pave the way for a brighter future for the Walden Islands. It is a bold and necessary step towards creating a fairer, healthier, and more prosperous society. Thank you for your time today, Madam Speaker. I urge you to support these amendments and join me in creating a better future for the British Virgin Islands. Together, we can make a difference.
Thank you, Honorable Member. I now call on the Honorable Francis John Niles.
Esteemed Madam Speaker and other members of the House, good morning. I am your Honorable Francis John Niles, the new Premier of the Virgin Islands. I stand before you today to present two vital changes that will transform our country. Madam Speaker, as a staunch supporter of the Governor's pursuit of the reforms, I believe these changes are essential for the prosperity and well-being of our people. Madam Speaker, before I begin, I wish to share one of my favorite humor. Was Dr. Seuss a doctor? Madam Speaker, firstly, I propose an increase in the age of sexual consent to 18, which would significantly reduce the number of babies being born to minors. This change will alleviate poverty and enable girls to pursue their education without the added burden of motherhood. We make this constitutional amendment to fall under the jurisdiction of the Ministry of Health and Social Development. The budget for this will be $1.2 million. Madam Speaker, secondly, to ensure the future of our country is sustainable, I urge the inclusion of eco-friendly initiatives in our Constitution. We must use eco-friendly construction materials like sargassum to build homes, schools, and offices. And Madam Speaker, encouraging reusable water bottles also plays a crucial role in the reducing plastic pollution. This constitutional change will fall under the Ministry of Communication and Works. The budget for this will be $2 million. Madam Speaker, I urge you to consider these changes and the positive impact they could have on our country. By embracing these reforms, we can create a brighter future for future generations. Thank you for your time and attention.
Thank you, Honorable Member. I now call on the Honorable Juden Joseph.
A pleasant good morning to everyone. Madam Speaker, my name is Honorable Juden Joseph, the Prime Minister of the Overseas Territory Leader. As I take my seat in the House of Assembly, I would like to propose 2 constitutional changes that will benefit the British Virgin Islands. To begin with, I would like to share a quote that I strongly believe in. The teachers make the roads, others will make the journey. Our ancestors have paved the way for us, and we are responsible for ensuring that the Virgin Islands have proper roads. Madam Speaker, education is the right nobody can take away from anyone. However, it is a concern for me that the education system in the Walden Islands need to have more skillful programs so we can learn more about computers like robotics and building things like furniture. I will provide a budget to ensure our teachers are trained. The budget will be $3 million. The ministry that will be tasked with this will be Honorable Sherma De Castro. Madam Speaker, thank you for listening.
Thank you, Honorable. I now call on the Honorable Samira Kid.
Greetings, Madam Speaker. I am Honorable Samira Kid, and I would like to share an inspirational quote by Abraham Lincoln. The best way to predict the future is to create it. Madam Speaker, esteemed members of the Assembly, distinguished guests and fellow citizens of the British Virgin Islands, I am humble and grateful to assume the position of Premier of this beautiful country. With a deep sense of responsibility, I present 2 constitutional changes that will bring progress and prosperity to our nation. Firstly, I propose the establishment of an independent anti-corruption commission. Corruption is a severe issue that stifles economic growth, undermines law, and limits public trust. We recently experienced a significant drug bust on Wednesday, the 6th of February 2024. We must take action to prevent this from happening again. This is an example of all the corruptions happening. They all must stop, Madam Speaker. This commission will investigate allegations of corruption, promote transparency and accountability, and ensure that those who engage in corrupt practices are held accountable. The Ministry of Finance will oversee this and propose an entitled budget of $1 million to ensure its effective operation. Secondly, I propose a comprehensive education reform package that focuses on improving the quality of education at all levels, from primary to tertiary. We must invest in our children who are the future of our nation. This reform will introduce a new embracing critical thinking, creativity, and problem-solving skills. The Ministry of Education will oversee this reform, and I propose an entitled budget of $5 million to kickstart this vital initiative. These changes will strengthen our democracy, promote economic growth, and create a brighter future for all citizens. I urge my fellow members of the Assembly to embrace these changes and work towards a future that fulfills our people's dreams. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Member. I now call on the Honorable Jonathan Can.
Good morning, Madam Speaker. I am Honorable Jonathan Can, the newly elected Premier of the Virgin Islands for the next 4 years. In today's press conference, I will address two critical constitutional changes that will benefit the people of the Virgin Islands. Firstly, the road infrastructure in the Virgin Islands requires urgent attention. I have spoken with the board members under the Public Works of Ministry. We will address this matter on the 10th of March. We have allocated approximately $2.3 million to get our roads permanently fixed. Secondly, the pollution in Packwood Pond has been a persistent issue for years. Therefore, I will invest in a new incinerator, which is budgeted for approximately $1.2 million. As we all know, health is wealth, and we cannot wait for our people to suffer from pollution-related illnesses to provide them with a suitable environment. Thank you all for choosing me as your new Premier.
Thank you, Honorable. I now call on the Honorable Evelyn Leonard.
Good morning, Madam Speaker. I am the Honorable Evelyn Leonard. Madam Speaker, I would like to begin my speech with a quote from Thomas Fuller. Health is not valid until sickness comes. Today, Madam Speaker, I will propose two constitutional changes to improve the lives of the people of these Virgin Islands. First, supermarkets should check monthly to ensure that they're not selling expired goods. It is not acceptable to sell such products that can cause health issues like food poisoning. Health is a fundamental right. We cannot propose health for profit. The Ministry of Health and Social Development will be responsible and will have a budget of $200,000 per year. Secondly, I propose an introduction of price control for food. In these challenging times, to ensure everybody can afford the basic necessities, like food is essential. Madam Speaker, we owe at least that to our people. Therefore, supermarkets and stores should have a regulated price for goods. This will ensure everyone has access to affordable food. The Ministry of Financial Services and Labor Trade will be responsible. Thank you, Madam Speaker. I conclude my speech here.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Honorable Members, at this time, we will take a brief recess.